Hey friends, it's Kelly. Welcome to Peace, Love, and Chaos. I've been avoiding you. Want to come clean? I it's it's like when you're in relationship with somebody and you have something you want to talk about, but it's one of those challenging, difficult, uncomfortable conversations. And so maybe you put it off for a little while, hoping that things will get better, or maybe you just need to shift your perspective. Maybe it's you. Um, and I just, it's Sunday. We've got 9 days before the election. I've waited all day. I've been mulling this over all day. Like, what am I going to say? And here it is. It's dark. I don't have my beautiful lighting from the windows. But I want to talk to you. How are you? This this election cycle has been the most intense that I've ever been a part of, it probably in recent memory for most all of us. Um, how's your nervous system? How are you doing? How's your anxiety? How are all of the emotions with such a high emotion um, situation? it I guess it just kind of depends on what's your normal go-to. Is it anxiety? Is it anger? Is it depression? Is it um, despair? Um, there's a lot of emotions running very high. And first, I want to check in with you. How are you doing? Because in 9 days, we're going to be past the election. And then how are you doing? Are you pinning all of your hopes on what happens in 9 days or however long it takes for the dust to settle? Are you hoping that everything will be great then? And right now it's not, or you're dreading that everything's going to be awful. Um, and you're just stuck wondering and worrying and wringing your hands or yeah, what breathing. How are you? So one of my biggest things is in situations where your nervous system is not feeling regulated, whether it's an uncomfortable conversation with a loved one, um, or just a situation that you find yourself running high emotions and whatever those emotions may be. My first word of advice is always to take a step back, take a breath, and do that as many times as you need to get a hold of yourself and gain some perspective. A lot of times, if we can just halt for a moment, that ramping up of the emotions and the um, the back and forth. Sometimes we just need to take a step back and remove ourselves from that situation and from that really high emotion. Um, when I'm coaching couples, that's the first thing I do because there's always going to be conflict, but it runs true with your parents, your siblings, your children, your partner, and it's business too, and friends. So when there's that tightening of your chest and you're very upset and it's very intense, take a step back. Even physically is great. Take a breath, or five, or 100. Take a breath. There's no need to escalate. You can be in control of your own faculties. Are you letting other people outside of yourself ramp up your emotions, good, bad, or indifferent? It should come from within. So being connected with yourself and grounded within yourself, have that frame of mind to take a step back and take a breath. I see you guys. So many of you that I've spent time with in different venues, different areas, different, whether it's business or family or friendships over the years. I see you. I see the reactions. I see the divisiveness. I see the mean girls. I see um the meanness, and it's hard to take. I try not to be on socials too much because it's a lot. It's very intense. And so I take a step back. I remove myself from that situation. So what happens when we're past the election? Do we continue to lob insults and hate towards each other? How do we come together? And how do we come together without relying on whoever's in the White House? That's my big question. I have a lot of other thoughts, but right now that's the big question. How can we come together? We've all been interacting in the past, whether we're in network groups together or business together or in families or long-term friendships. Some of you I've had meals with, I've traveled with, I've done business with, and I see you. It's heartbreaking. My Some of my values and my essences and things that I hold near and dear is love and connection, peace, ease and flow, freedom, sovereignty. Those are some of my tops. And yeah, it's a little heartbreaking to watch some of what's going on. I invite you to just step back and take a breath. Are you being who you want to be? Are you proud of who you're being? Doesn't matter who's around you. I'm not talking about the other people around you. Who are you being? If you're not proud of who you're being, it's an opportunity to change that. Take a step back and take a breath. Who do you choose to be? I choose to be someone that holds a seat at the table for everybody. Let's make the table bigger. Everyone should be represented. That's me. Who do you choose to be? For tonight, that's all I got. I love you guys. Be you. Take care. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other.